Hello, welcome to Aoba-Japan International School. My name is Allison Tong, and I am the assistant principal at the Meguro campus. So at Aoba-Japan International School, there are two campuses, the Meguro campus and the Higarigaoka campus. At the Meguro campus, we cater for children 18 months to 6 years old, while at the Higarigaoka campus, it caters for children 3 years old all the way to high school. Aoba-Japan International School is accredited by different organizations. First of all, is accredited by the International Baccalaureate. We are also the member of the Japan Council of International Schools. We are accredited by the Council of International Schools and accredited by the New England Association of the Schools and Colleges. At the Meguro campus, we have two houses. They are right next to each other. On the left side, this is for the K2, for the K3, and for music, art, and Japanese. For the K2 class, this is for children 18 months to 3 years old. Within that class, there are 21 children with 3 teachers. For the K3 class, there are 2 classes, and with each class, there are 12 children with 1 teacher. On the right side, we have the K4 class, which is also 2 classes, and for each class, there are 12 children with 1 teacher. And as for K5 class, there are 2 classes, but they're in one big classroom. And the reason why is they do a lot of work in collaboratively together. We also have a library on the right side as well. So the doors open at 8:40 to 9 o'clock, and the school hours are from 9 to 3 o'clock. Aoba-Japan International School is an IB school. We offer the primary years program, the middle years program, and the diploma program. Within the primary years program, this starts at the age of 3 and it goes all the way up to grade 5. For the middle years program, it starts in grade 6 all the way to grade 10. And for the diploma program, it is for grade 11 and for grade 12. These are some of the universities and colleges our students have gotten into. This data is all after 2014. Prior to 2014, the school did not have a high school, and that's why it only ended in grade 8. But these are the universities our students have been admitted to after 2014. And as you can see, they go around the world in different places. Here are all our teachers at the Meguro campus. All the teachers at the Meguro campus are qualified teachers in education, either a bachelor or a master's in teaching. So from now on, we will start talking about the curriculum. For the K2 children, because they are still too young, they do not start the PYP program yet. However, they do a lot of things that relates to their interests and it relates to play. So these are the developmental domains we look into: personal, social, and emotional development, communication and language, physical development, literacy and mathematics, understanding the world, and express arts and design. And as you can see from the photos, the children are always having fun and they're exploring and they're doing a lot of inquiry. So they're either outside at the park, or they could be inside the classroom, or they could be on field trips to Ueno Zoo. Within the PYP curriculum, the primary years curriculum, there are 6 transdisciplinary themes that we look into. As you can say they are the big topics of the IB, which is who we are, how we express ourselves, how the world works, how we organize ourselves, where we are in place and time, and sharing the planet. And I'll just go back to who we are and begin talking about some of these experiences that the children do. So for example, in K3, the children will be we can learn about ourselves and others through reflecting on who we are and what we can do. So on the picture on the left, this is the attendance to see if the children are at school today. And what they do is they look at their name. So for this little boy here, Genbu, Genbu, throughout the school year, he'll start recognizing his name. And when he turns it around, he'll realize, oh, that's my name. So that's me. My name starts with G. And throughout the school year, there'll be a lot of literacy experiences that they'll start learning the alphabet. So then they might learn that, oh, my name is Allison, so it starts with A. Your name is Anna. It also starts with A. Oh, so that's the similarity between us. However, if your name is John and my name is Allison, your name starts with J. My name starts with A. We have different letters in our names. And another example here is learning the numbers from 0 to 10 for our children, right? The picture in the middle. So you can see the child is putting the picture of how many people she has in her family, and she's learning that, oh, I have 4 people in my family. And then other children might talk about, oh, I have 5 people in my family, or I have 6, or I have 3. And we talk a lot about diversity, and we talk about a lot about some children may only have a mummy or just a daddy. And we talk about that's okay because all families are very diverse and we should respect one another. And on the picture at the top, we talk a lot about feelings. So not only am I just happy or am I sad, from a very young age onwards, we would like children to be able to express themselves. So, oh, I'm feeling tired today. Oh, I'm feeling hungry. Oh, I'm feeling a little nervous. I'm feeling a little worried. So we want children from a young age to be able to express themselves. For K4, they'll be learning about relationships with others shape who we are. So for the K4 children, they'll be learning a lot about positive relationships or even negative relationships. How do I make sure to keep positive relationships with others? And how do I maintain relationships with others? And a lot of the times they were exploring about their families. So this example here, this little boy is talking about, he made a figurines of all this family, and they were talking about, oh, what's my relationship like with my sister? What's my relationship like with my family? And what do we do? What type of things do we do? And throughout the school year, they'll be learning a lot about one another and learning about how they are similar or how they are different. In regards to K5, they'll be learning about body parts help the body work. On the picture on the top right, if I could just move my screen a little bit, the children are talking about the function of the different parts of the body. So what are my hands for? What are my feet for? What are my 5 senses for? And they might even explore the inner parts of their body. So what is my heart for? What are my lungs for? So here you can see the children putting the different parts of their body onto the big poster. The picture on the bottom right, you can see the children are learning about healthy lifestyle. So what type of food should I eat to maintain a healthy lifestyle? I should eat something I should always eat fruits. I should always eat vegetables to keep myself healthy. And I should always exercise to maintain being healthy. Let me just move this right back. Okay, following up. Following on with how we express ourselves, K3 children will be learning about cultures can be expressed through celebrations and traditions. So as you can see the picture in the top, the children were learning about the different celebrations around the world. And for this one, it was in particular to the Chinese New Year. But throughout the school year, they'll be celebrating different celebrations and traditions. And on the picture on the left, the children were learning a lot about the similarities and differences between them and their friends on how they celebrate birthdays. So, for example, this little girl was talking about how she celebrates with a cake, while another boy's like, oh, I don't have a cake, but I have a balloon. And that's how I celebrate my birthday. So they were talking a lot about the similarities and differences amongst themselves. And as for K4, they'll be learning a lot about, we use our 100 languages to learn and express ourselves. So not only do we use English, Japanese, Chinese, French, or other languages to express ourselves, we can do it through the arts. We can do it through drawing, we can do it through painting, we can do it through taking photos, we can do it through taking videos as well. And another example is expressing yourself through show and tell. So every day for our children, they will bring an item from home, and there's a calendar that is set up for who brings an item in. And at this experience, they talk about what they have brought in. And for the younger children, it's more of their favorite toy, while for the older children, it might relate directly to their unit of inquiry. And as for K5, they'll be learning a lot about we can choose different ways of communication for different reasons. And for this example here, the children were learning a lot about the history of how technology has changed. So back in the day, the children had to interviewed their grandparents and asked them, how did you find out information? And for the grandparents, they said, oh, we found out information from reading the newspaper, or we found out news from listening to the radio. So then the children had to interview their parents. And for the parents, they said, oh, I read it from a magazine or the newspaper, or I even watched it on TV. And for our children now, and when we asked them, how can you find out information? The teachers and the parents guided the children in learning about, oh, we can research through finding it out from the computer. We can find it from the internet. We can read it from a book, or we can find it out from our phones. There are so many different ways, or even we can call someone and find out more information. So this is what the children learn and how we express ourselves. As for how the world works, the K3 children will be learning about what we may notice and interact with the world around us. So on the picture on the left, the children went all the way down to Meguro River with their art book, and then they drew how the trees have changed throughout the school year. So during autumn, the children could see, oh, the leaves are changing colors. They can change to red, they're changing to orange, they're changing to yellow. Oh, and I can see that they're falling down. And by winter, when they go down again, they realize, oh, there are no leaves at all. And by springtime, they realize, oh, there are lots of cherry blossoms on the trees, and they're all pink. And by summer, when they go down, they realize, oh, the trees are full of leaves, and they're all green. So in K3, they learn a lot about the seasons and the different types of weather. So the picture in the middle, the children were learning about, oh, what do we do to keep our body warm? So I need to drink something warm to keep myself warm. I need to drink something warm to keep my body warm. And as for K5, they'll be learning about solids, liquids, and gases can be manipulated and changed for different purposes. So as you can see here, the little boy is doing an experiment. There'll be lots of experiments during this unit, learning a lot about how solid, liquid, and gases can be changed. So for example, if you have water, you can change it from liquid to solid in the freezer, and then you can also take it back out and it'll go back to liquid. And if you put it on the stove, it will evaporate and it'll become gas. And as for K5 children, because they can read and write more, this is something a little girl wrote. I put ice on hand and it melted because it's hot. And as for our children at our school, for K3 children, they will be exposed to a lot of the alphabet. K4, they will start learning the phonics. And in K5, they will continue learning the phonics as well, and more of the blending sounds, and start beginning to write sentences as well. And as you can see, we're not worried about the spelling mistakes, but as long as they have the phonics very strong. So as you can see, because is B-I-C-O-S, B-I-K-O-S. Okay. Now we are going on to how we organize ourselves. So in how we organize ourselves, this is a K4 topic, and they'll be learning a lot about putting things in order can help achieve a purpose. So the children are learning in this topic a lot about how you have to organize yourself in many different ways, and how the system works in our world, in our daily lives. So for this example on the right, you can see the children are at the post office, and I'll just start with the story of how we started it. So the children were very interested in writing letters to their friends. So in the classroom, they made a mailbox, and in the mailbox, they decided that they would love to write letters to their friends. So they learned, oh, if I have to write a letter to my friend, I need to write something in it. I need to fold it up. I need to put it in the envelope. I need to write the address. So, or I need to write it to who it will go to. I need to put a stamp on, and then I will seal it, and then I'll put it in the mailbox. And at the end of each day, we always had a mailbox helper that would pick up all of the letters and deliver it to the classrooms. So in this unit, the children learn a lot about writing, learn a lot about reading, learn a lot about continue learning how to draw different types of things. And it really made themselves happy and made their friends happy too. And in this experience, we learned a lot about geography. We learned a lot about where different children live in Tokyo. So we found out, oh, we have a little boy that lives in Toshima-ku, another boy that lives in Setagaya-ku, some children who live in Meguro-ku, some children who live in Shibuya-ku, and we learn a lot about the postal codes. So if I have the same number as you, then that means we live in the same area. But if I have a different postal code, then that means we must live in a different area. And from that experience, the children decided that they wanted to write a letter to their parents and have a real experience of going to the post office. So they wrote a letter to their parents, they addressed it to their parents, they went all the way down to the post office. They had to learn to buy a stamp. They put it on the stamp, and then they put it in the mailbox and waited it for it to deliver. So that was one way that they learned about how we organize ourselves in different types of ways. And another one was learning about how the transportation system works in Tokyo. So an example here was going to Haneda Airport all the way from our school. So from our school, the children got the bus to Shibuya Station. And from Shibuya Station, they had to buy a ticket to get on the JR Yamanote line. And then when they got to Hamamatsucho, they had to change to the monorail and buy another ticket and got all the way to the airport. And even when they got to the airport, they explored the different buses going to different terminals. So from that experience, they learned about how the transportation system works. And when they got to the airport, they had to interview different people, asking them where they were traveling to. And from that experience, they brought all that data back, and we did a math experience to learn about, oh, how many people went to China, how many people went to Korea, and how many people went to the different parts of the world. In Where We Are in Place and Time, the K3 children will be learning about we can make discoveries through play. So as you can see, the children were using different types of materials, making different types of toys and sharing it with their friends, or they were learning about cooking. So how discovering through cooking and making Play-Doh in the classroom. And another example was the children had such a strong interest in learning how the bus driver drives the bus, or how the train conductor operates the train. So we had an experience going all the way to KO Railland for a field trip to learn about how they work. And as for K5, this is a topic for learning about different areas, strengthen communities, and help people. So learning a lot about why do we have a community and what's within a community. So for example, going to the library to learn about, oh, why do people go to the library? Why do people go to the supermarket? Oh, people go there so then they can borrow books. Oh, people go there so then they can buy food at the supermarket. And here, as you can see, the little boy took a picture. They went on a field trip, and he took a picture of the bus, and he wrote, "This is a bus," and it puts people on station like Shibuya and somewhere else, and people go through the door to the inside of the bus. And for the end of the unit, the children made a diorama of their own type of community. So this little boy made a zip line within his community, as you can see. As for sharing the planet, this is the last unit that I'll be talking about today. And the children here in K4 will be learning about living things need certain things to survive. So during autumn, the children will go potato digging and to dig out the different potatoes and learn about how, oh, potatoes grow underground. And throughout the school year, they'll continue to learn about living things and how they grow. So, and they learn about, oh, how some vegetables grow up under the ground, or how some vegetable grow above the ground, and same with the fruits. And by springtime, they will start planting their own seeds. And every day they will document how it's growing and then watering it as well to make sure it stays alive. And as for K5, they'll be learning about responsible actions may contribute to conflict resolutions. So as for K5 children, they are one of the older ones. They're 5 to 6 years old. We would like them to resolve their conflicts by themselves. So not coming to a teacher all the time to solve their problems, or not going to a parent to solve their problems, but trying to solve problems amongst themselves. So this is an example of their essential agreements that they have in their classroom. They have to keep their hands and feet to myself. We have to talk to solve problems. We need to say nice words to make people happy, and we share things. From now on, we will continue talking about the different parts of the school and different things that we have at our school. So English is additional language and learning support. This is more so for the Higarigaoka campus. But by the end of K5 and around April, the children will be doing a test called the WIDA test to test their listening, speaking, reading, and writing. And if they don't reach the benchmark, they will be placed into the EAL program at the Higarigaoka campus. And as for the learning support is more for teachers that who may think they have children with that may have extra needs, and the school will provide a learning support specialist that will come in and observe the child and provide strategies to the parents and provide strategies to the teachers. Please do not worry if your child will be placed into the EAL program. Meguro campus children will get automatic entry into the Higarigaoka campus. So this is what our outside area looks like. We're very lucky that we have quite a big deck in the main building for the younger children to explore. We have a very big sandbox, and there are different types of toys that we set out. And for the older children, but even from K2 onwards, they will go to the park. For K2 children, they will go once to twice a week. K3 will probably go 2 times as well. But as for K4 and K5, they will go every day. And we're very, very lucky that we're right next to Saigoyama Park and Sugekari Park. So it's only around a 5-minute walk for the children. Art and Japanese. Japanese, we have 3 classes each week. And art, we have one class each week. This starts from K3. And there's only one art class because normally within this within class they do a lot of art as well in the homeroom classes. For Japanese in K4 and K5, they start learning the hiragana, but from K3 onwards, on K3, K4, K5, they do learn a lot about the Japanese culture. Music. For music, for the K2 children, they have music class every day for 20 minutes. However, for K3 to K5, they have music class twice a week, and they go for 40 minutes for each class. And during music class, they do a lot of singing, they do a lot of dancing, they learn a lot about beat, they learn a lot about rhythm. In K4, they may start learning the pianica, and in K5, they start learning the handbells. We also have the gross motor program and swimming. So gross motor program is for the children to exercise their bodies. So 2 to 3 times a week, the teachers will bring the children to the park and they'll be exercising and enhancing their muscles. As for swimming, this is for K4 and K5 children. Once a week, they will go swimming at Gakuge Daigaku Central Sports. So a bus will pick up the children and they will go swimming. They will go swimming for around 1 hour, and they'll be back at school. We have a library within our school as well, and we have a librarian that comes in every Thursday to do different experiences with the children. She either reads to the children or she does different types of literacy experiences with the children. The library is also open to the families every Thursday from 8:40 to 9:30, so parents can go inside and speak to the librarian to find different books for your child. The waiting program and after school program. So waiting program is for all children and it's on every day. And the waiting 1 starts at 3 o'clock and it ends at 4 o'clock. And waiting 2 is from 4 o'clock and to 5 o'clock. This is an additional 2,000 yen per hour. As for after school program, we offer it to K4 and K5 children, not for K2 and K3 as they are still too young. Tuesday, we offer the rhythmic class, so it's early years musical elements. Thursday, karate, and Friday, robotics or coding. We have different school events throughout the school year. We have the winter program at the Hikarigaoka campus where the children will perform on the stage. We have family day in around October or to November on a Saturday where the families can come in and see how your child learns at school. We also have bake sales throughout the year. We celebrate different Japanese celebrations throughout the year. So you can see here the K2 children were celebrating Setsubun. We also work very closely to the Meguro community, the Meguro ward community and the police. So the children here were experiencing the earthquake simulation truck with their parents. We also have the Spring Carnival at the Hikarigaoka campus where there are lots of game booths and food booths that are set up for the families and children to participate in. We also have the spring program that happens in April on a Saturday where the children will all perform on a stage as well. We use an application called Seesaw, and this is a digital portfolio where you can see how your child is learning at school. So a few times a week, different learning gets uploaded, so then you can see how your child is learning at school. Parent partnership, we're more than happy to have different parents to take part in their child's learning. So for example, here on the left, we had an American family that did Thanksgiving with the children. On the top, we had a Chinese mother that did Chinese New Year with the children. At the bottom, we have the Japanese families that did the Japanese Summer Matsuri with the children. We also have mystery readers. That means parents can come in and read to the class. So here's a picture of one of the mothers reading to the whole class. We also run workshops for families. So we run monthly workshops for all the parents, and the workshops revolve around understanding the IB program, or how to support your child in reading, how to support your child in writing, and a lot about the importance of play. This is the end of the presentation. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please feel free to email us any questions, or if you like to set up a meeting with us. Thank you very, very much for your time. Bye-bye.